Hello everyone. So welcome to the introduction seminar for English for Humanities and Social Sciences. And in this session, we will be talking about, I will be giving you an introduction to this course. What is this course? And also we will be talking about what is the content. මොකක්ද lessons වල තියෙන්නේ lesson එකකින් එකට ගිහිල්ලා මොන වගේ content එකක්ද lessons වල තියෙන්නේ and also we will be talking about evaluation criteria, how you will get marks. Okay, and also we will be talking about your assignment. Okay, there's one assignment to be submitted. එක assignment එකක් තියෙනවා කරන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ට දැම්ම නෙමෙයි. So we will be sending you and updating you about the assignment on the LMS page later. But in the seminar, I'm going to talk about what this assignment is and what we expect you to do. Okay, so moving on. So this is the overview of the English language program actually. So for first year, semester 1 and 2, okay, this is where you are now, right? You have CBEN 18213, which is English for Humanities and Social Sciences. This is a compulsory subject with 3 credits. Okay, so this is where you are. You have English subjects, other 2 courses, another course in second year, which is English in Today's World, again a compulsory subject. And in the third year, you have English for professional purposes, again a compulsory subject. Okay, so you have to pass all these one by one. First year, you have to pass this, and likewise, you have to pass all these English courses because they are compulsory. Okay, so for this year, for first year, you have this program, English for Humanities and Social Sciences. And so the main objective of this course is, the objective of this course is to enhance students' reading, writing, listening, speaking skills, along with grammar and vocabulary, knowledge of English language within Sri Lankan context. So this is mostly like general English. Okay, in this course, you will get to learn English in a general setting mostly. Okay, so by next year, there's kind of by the second year, it's quite an advanced English course, whereas this year, we are going to start with very basics and go through all the basic tenses and improve your writing skills from starting from the beginning level, okay, like paragraph writing and so on, and we will build it. Okay, so this course is mostly like a beginner's course. Okay, so next year you will get quite an advanced course, and the third year it will be more advanced, but don't worry, we will be learning step by step. Okay, so moving on. So since you will be a little bit new to the university experience, I added this as well. So for you to pass pass any course, you have to get a C mark. Okay, you have to have a C pass. For a C, you have to have at least 40 or above 40 marks. You have to score 40 or above 40. Okay, so, and the other gradings go like, for A plus, you have to have 85 and above. For A, you have to 70 and above. And A minor, you have to have 65 and above. B plus, you should get 60 and above. For a B, you should get 55 and above. For B minor, 50 and above. A C plus, 45 and above. And C, 40 and above. Okay, so to pass the course, your aim should be, if you are aiming to pass the course, you should get at least 40 marks and above. Okay, so moving on. Learning outcomes, ideas, and skills. At the end of the program, the learners will be able to read and identify the main idea and supporting details in simple text, Write a few simple paragraphs related to immediate context. Listen and identify the main idea in a variety of simple spoken text. Speak about the immediate context. Okay, so as I told you earlier, we will be teaching you reading skills, developing your reading skills, writing skills, listening skills, as well as your speaking skills. Okay, so you will have, these are the learning events. So you have 3 seminars. This is the first seminar. Okay, this is the introductory seminar. This is for 1 hour, and there will be another 2 more seminars covering 5 more hours, which will be done at the end of, at the very end of the course, for you to revise and also to get the knowledge on how the paper will be, past papers discuss karanne දේවල් වලට. We have another 2 more seminars coming at the very end. So this is the first seminar. This is for the beginning, for you to give an introduction, and there are 2 more seminars coming up at the very end of the course. Apart from that, you have 15 hours of lectures. Okay, so you have 15 hours of lectures covering as let me see, actually covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lessons, and some revisions as well. Okay, so you have 15 hours of lectures. Okay, and also if you go to your LMS page, okay, if you go to your LMS page, let me show you my one. Okay, so it's 2022. So you can see in your LMS page, okay, all the details you need related to this with the glossary. This glossary is very important. Go through the glossary, learn all the words. Okay, you are given all the words you are needed to complete this course. Okay, all the general vocabulary you will need. Okay, and then again we have lesson by lesson with notes, a worksheet, and an answer key for you to practice on the LMS page. So each lesson has a worksheet, notes first, a worksheet, answer key, and also some additional material for you to watch. Okay, some videos and sometimes some notes, other notes for you to watch and gain more knowledge. Okay, so this is the LMS page is of course for you to self-study mostly, and apart from that, the 15 hours of lectures will be done as well for you to, so we will be teaching you the lessons in lecture recordings, all the 13 lessons. Okay, so moving on. Moving to the evaluation criteria, you have an end of semester exam which will give you 80% of your marks. Okay, you can score 80% of your marks from the end of semester exam. Okay, which will cover reading, writing, grammar, and vocabulary parts. Okay, and there's an assignment coming up for 20% of your marks. Okay, which is a speaking based assignment. Okay, we will be discussing further about this. So yes, so my one of my advices for you right now is to not to miss this assignment. Okay, so you get 20% of marks for this, and you can score marks from doing the assignment. Okay, so don't miss the assignment, and also it's a kind of a learning opportunity for you. Okay, so don't miss the assignment. We will update the dates of submission and guidelines and everything on the LMS page. and you will have to submit. You will get enough time to do the work and submit it later on. So do not miss the assignment. Okay, so that is one of my advices. Moving on. So lesson material, we have as I told you, there are 13 lessons, but there are only 8 topics. Some parts come as part 1 and part 2. Okay, so these are the themes we have: inclusive society, environment, setting goals, discussing time, planning events, personality types, in retrospect, and global issues. Okay, මේ තමයි lessons වල names නම් ටික. Summer lesson, for an example, inclusive society comes as part 1 and part 2. Okay, so let's go through these lessons first, the content. Okay, so inclusive society part 1, you have discussed the need for inclusive societies. Inclusive society එකක් කියන්නේ ඔක්කොමල්ලා එකට equally එකමුතුව එකට ඉන්න society එකක්, inclusive. Okay, so we will be discussing about these. Don't stress yourselves. Okay, each lesson comes very we have very detailed lessons coming up for you in lecture recordings. Okay, to cover all these lessons. Don't worry, I'm giving you a brief idea about all the lessons. Okay, so construct words using letters in the alphabet, practice sentence structures and vocabulary, identify terms for different nationalities in the world, and practice introductions. Okay, so moving on to inclusive society part 2, you have produced a limited discourse on personal topics and on inclusive society. Produce simple present tense sentences, so each lesson will cover some grammar points. Okay, so here it covers simple present tense. Formulate simple WH questions. Use prepositions of place to produce simple sentences. Then you have environment part 1. Use the demonstratives this, that, these, those. Describe a picture using short sentences. Practice reading and understanding specific information in a passage. Discuss the benefit that can be derived from the environment. Practice the use of little, a little, and few, a few. And environment part 2, you have used the demonstratives, there is, there are. Practice the use of other determiners: all, each, every, both, some, any, no. Read and understand specific information in a passage. Practice language use related to apologies, compliments, and congratulations. Introduce and give basic details about oneself at a gathering group discussion. Then moving on, we have setting goals. Listen to a video and identify its main idea on the topic of setting goals. Respond in polite conversation with a peer and a lecturer, handling courtesy formulas on the topic of one's goals. Use simple present and present continuous forms to talk about permanent and temporary situations. Write an informal letter describing university life, how it helps to achieve his or her personal goals. Write down ideas on success and goals. Next, we have giving advice. The lesson outcomes are: listen to a song and discuss its idea with the peers. Ask and answer WH questions. Play the language game Who Am I? Palm reading using future tense. Formulate a dialogue based on short, silent animated movies. Talk about heartbreak and advice of a love guru. Then we have discussing time. The lesson outcomes are: listen to a sequence of events in a narrative and suggest the ending. Use past, simple, and continuous forms to talk about past actions and events. Discuss past events in an informative text. Create a song using given lines. Listen to a song and discuss its content. Then we have planning events. The outcomes are conceptualize role play about organizing a university event, use functional language to make and respond to suggestions, respond to opinions and ask for clarifications, listen to a lecture and take down notes, writing a paragraph. Then we have personality types coming up. The lesson outcomes are describe mood, senses, and types of people, watch a video on personality types, adjectives and their order, describe people and objects, writing task on describing people or objects, read a poem and discuss its content. Next, we have in retrospect, part 1. Listen to an interview with a famous academic, adverbs of frequency, manner, and degree, present perfect form and past simple form to past actions and experiences. Then we have in retrospect part 2, reading a biography of a famous person who is still alive using present perfect, past simple, and present simple forms. Paragraph writing task on one's appreciative role model. Then we have global issue part 1. Listen to audio clips, contemporary social issues, and identify each of problems. Read for the main idea and supporting details in a newspaper article about waste management in Sri Lanka. Infer meaning for the selected words in the above text. Then finally, we have global issues part 2. Practice sentence types in English. Write letters of complaint on any imaginary issue. Listen to a video and discuss characteristics of an effective academic presentation. Okay, so that is about the content of each lesson. Okay, so moving on. Next, we are going to discuss about the assignment. Okay, so up to this point, we discussed what these overall courses, English courses you get overall for the 3 years, what are the 3 courses you get. And then we specifically discussed the content and evaluation criteria for first year course, which is English for Humanities and Social Sciences. Okay, so next I told you for evaluation, you have a paper to do at the end of semester for 80% of your mark and an assignment to do for 20% of your marks. So this assignment you have to do within the course time period, okay, before the exams, and we will let you know the dates. දැන් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. අපි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට date එකයි ඒක submit කරන්න කාලයක් දෙනවා, ලොකු ටික කාලයක් දෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට activity එක කරලා කරන්න ඇති වෙන්න අපි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කාලය දෙනවා. ඒ හැම දෙයක්ම LMS page එකේ අපි update කරනවා. Okay, so දැන් නෙමෙයි මේ assignment එක කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. මම මේ assignment එකේ මොකක්ද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන discuss කරන එක විතරයි අද කරන්නේ. Okay, so yes. So moving on to the assignment, you are expected to introduce yourself and talk about what you are studying now and your plans for the future. This is what you have to do. Time duration 2 to 3 minutes. Maximum submission size is 5 MB. Okay, so loku files upload karanna epa, upload karanna amaruwi. You have to compress it. Okay, file එක පොඩි කරලා මේවා කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම කරන්න apps තියෙනවා. Okay, so you have to compress the files and upload, and also මම දැම්ම කියන්න, you have to rename file එක rename කරන්න ඕනේ ඔයාගේ student number එකේ. Okay, so we have like thousands of submissions coming on, and it will be really hard, okay, to grade. Okay, now hey myself rename rename it with your student number and state assignment 1. Then it's really easy. Okay, so what you have to do, as I told you, is to introduce yourself. So it's more like you speak about yourself, what you are doing right now. Okay, so generally about you, like who are you and how old are you and those things, your favorites and your family and whatnot. And also, what are you studying right now? What are you doing right now? Are you doing a job? And why? What are you studying for this in the external degree, for the external degree? And also your future plans. What do you expect to do in the future? Okay, so that is what you have to do. It's very simple. Okay, what you have to do is you have to make the speech on yourself, including these points, to 2 to 3 minutes. Then practice it. Okay, practice karanda. Then videotape yourself. Okay, and then you have to upload it. Upload the video to the file. අපේ සබ්මිට් කරන්න ෆෝල්ඩර් එකක් අරිනවා. ඒ ෆෝල්ඩර් එකට සබ්මිට් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ ඒ ඩෙඩ්ලයින් එක පහු වෙන්න කලින්. Okay, so moving on, more details. So you have to introduce yourself and talk what you are studying now and your plans for the future. You have to video record the speech, as I told you. State the name and student number. Time duration 2 to 3 minutes. Upload on LMS. More instructions will be given on the LMS. Okay. So, how to answer tell me about yourself question. So, as I told you, talk about where you are now. Then, ගැන කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. Discuss how you got to where you are. Okay. කොහොමද ඔයා මේ වෙනකන් ආවේ? What you did for. You can talk about your school experiences, okay, and whatnot, and share your goals for the future. Future goals. ඉස්සරහට ඔයා මොනවද කරන්න ඉන්නේ? Okay. So these are the 3 main topics you can cover when you talk about yourself. Okay. Wait. So moving on, vocabulary used in self-introductions. Okay. So you can say, hello, I'm your name. So I can say, hello, I'm Rajini, and I'm from Sri Lanka, and I'm 27 years old. There are 4 members in my family, and I live with my husband and my mother, and my birthday is on which date, and blah, blah, blah. So those are the general things you can tell, right? And also you can talk about your likes and dislikes, like I like watching films on Netflix, and I like reading books. Okay, my favorite singer is a name, and my favorite movie is this. I love watching movies, and usually at my leisure time I do these things. Okay, and also maybe about if you love your pets, you can talk about them. Okay, so I have 3 dogs and a lot of cats in my house, and likewise. And then your work-wise and academic-wise. Okay, so you can tell. So I can tell I'm a lecturer at CDCE, and I also coordinate the career-based English courses there. And I also so this also talks about the favorites and drinks and blah, blah, blah. So also you can tell what you have completed. Okay, so for O-levels, what you did, for A-levels, what you did, maybe those things. Okay, you don't have to tell everything. You have to think, what do you think is necessary? Okay, what do you think you should tell about yourself to others when you introduce yourself? What do you want others to know about you? Okay, make a creative speech unique to yourself, about yourself. Okay, so you don't have to go favorite color. Okay, you think, what do you want to tell if you want to introduce yourself to someone? What do you want that person to know about you? Okay, so then you can talk about your personality as well, if you want. Like, I'm calm, hardworking, and responsible. I have many international friends. I study English because it's very important and necessary. I've been learning English since I was 7. I can express myself and communicate in English. I'm planning to improve my English knowledge more. Okay. Likewise, you can talk. And also your future plans. Once I have completed the degree, external degree, I'm planning to do these things, and also what else you expect to do in the future, your goals. Okay, so moving on, let's watch this video on Tell Me About Yourself. It is a very detailed video. You can learn many things from it. You can pause the video and write, take notes. Okay, here we go.
Communicate in English easily. Use Grammarly and feel confident with effective communication.
Hi, I'm Ollie. Welcome to Oxford Online English. In this lesson, you can learn how to answer the question, tell me about yourself.
To see more free English lessons, visit our website, oxfordonlineenglish.com. You can also book English classes with our fully qualified teachers, who can help you with your English speaking, writing, IELTS preparation, or whatever else you need.
Don't forget to turn on the subtitles for this video if you need them. All our videos have English subtitles. You can turn them on now. Just click the CC button in the bottom right of your video player.
Tell me about yourself. This question makes people nervous. What can you say? Honestly, this is a bad question to ask. If I was giving someone a job interview, I would never ask this question because it makes people feel uncomfortable. But you might hear it and need to answer. Maybe in a job interview, or an interview for university, or an English exam, or somewhere else.
In this lesson, you'll see answers to this question for 4 different situations. 1. In a job interview. 2. In a university interview. 3. In an English exam. This is the most general example, so if you just want a general way to respond to tell me about yourself, watch this section. 4. When introducing yourself to new colleagues. Before we look at our sample answers, let's see 4 general tips.
First, think about the context you're in. Tell me about yourself doesn't mean tell me everything about yourself. You need to choose where to focus. For example, in a job interview, you should focus on your professional background. In an English exam, you'll probably give a more general answer.
Secondly, keep your answer short and focused. Our sample answers are mostly around 3 or 4 sentences. This is a good length to aim for.
Thirdly, remember that this question will usually be asked at the beginning of an interview. In most cases, the interviewer won't pay much attention to the content of what you say, so don't worry about it too much. The most important thing is that you can answer confidently and coherently.
Finally, here's a suggestion for a general structure. Make 1 or 2 sentences about your past, 1 or 2 sentences about your current situation, and 1 or 2 sentences about the future. Now, let's see some examples. I'm currently working in HR for Dell, but actually, as you've probably seen from my CV, my background is in graphic design. I've been wanting to get back to graphic design work for some time, and that's why I applied for this position. In this answer, you talk about your current situation and then add details about your background.
It's a simple answer, but that's fine. It's focused and clear, and it gives your interviewer the chance to ask for more details if he or she wants. Let's see one more example. I've been working in biomedical research for about 5 years. I completed my PhD 4 years ago, and I worked for a small pharmaceutical company here until, unfortunately, it went out of business recently. So I'm currently looking for a new position in biotech, pharma, or anything related to my training and experience.
This answer is a little more detailed. It also doesn't really include information about the future. That's okay. The past, present, future idea isn't a template which you have to follow. It's just a way to organize your ideas. Let's look at some language from these examples. In sentences 3 and 4, after in, you need to name a sector. For example, I've been working in the education sector for 7 years. If you want to name a company, use at. For example, I've been working at HSBC for a year and a half.
Could you complete these sentences to make them true for you? Pause the video and try it now. Say the sentences out loud. Next, let's look at university interviews. I've always loved drama, watching plays, and everything else connected with the theater. I've been involved in our school drama society for several years, both in terms of acting in productions and also working behind the scenes with set design, lighting, and things like that. I've known for a long time that I want to be an actor, and studying drama here would be a logical next step towards that goal, I think. This answer gives more details about the speaker's past experience and less information about the present and future. As you heard before, this is no problem. Don't feel that you need to have a certain number of sentences about the past or whatever. Different answers will fit different situations. Be flexible.
Let's see one more sample answer. I always knew I wanted to be a scientist, even when I was little. My best subjects throughout school have been maths and science, but at this point, I'd like to specialize more, which is why I'm applying to study astrophysics. I'm doing my IB next month, and my predicted grade is 40 or higher. I'm hoping you'll offer me a place to study here, and I'm excited to start my studies in September. These answers are specialized. They focus on particular subjects, but there are several pieces of language you can use, whatever you study. Let's look. Of course, you can change these phrases to fit your situation. For example, if you're still at school, you'll probably say are or have been in number 2 instead of were. Now it's your turn to practice. Use these 4 phrases to make your own answer using your own ideas. Pause the video and say your answer out loud now.
How was that? You might need to practice a few times to get everything fluent. Take your time and practice as many times as you need. Next, let's see how to answer "Tell me about yourself" in a more general way. For example, in an English exam.
So, you're hiring.
Citizen advocacy.
Finding the right person for the job can be difficult and costly. But
Honestly, in most English exams, you are not likely to be asked this question. In common international exams like IELTS or the Cambridge exams, questions are more focused. But it's possible. Or you might need to answer the question, "Tell me about yourself," in a different situation. Let's look at a more general answer to this question. Well, I was born in Vladivostok, but my dad moved around a lot for his work, so I grew up in different places: Japan, the Philippines, and Malaysia. Currently, I'm working part-time and studying for a master's in film production. I'm pretty interested in film, video production, and things like that, so I'm hoping to work in that sector once I finish my studies.
You can see that the answer is more general and personal, rather than focusing on work or studies. Let's see one more. I'm originally from Buenos Aires, but I've been living here in Dublin for several years now. I worked for an ad agency as a copywriter, which is something I never imagined I would do, but I really like it. I was never good at English when I was younger, so it's weird that I ended up working in a job which requires very high-level language skills. I like living here, but I feel like I'd also like to travel and experience living in other places. So I'm thinking about moving to Canada or the US in the next year or so.
This is the longest of our sample answers, but it's still quite short, about 100 words. Remember that you don't want your answer to be too long. Keep it short and focused. If you're asked the question, "Tell me about yourself," in an English exam or general situation, let's see some language you can use to build an answer.
In number 2, you put a company after for and your position after as. For example, I'm working for Google as a tester. In number 4, you put an ing verb after about to describe something which you are considering doing in the future. For example, I'm thinking about changing jobs. Let's try together. Make your own answer using these 4 phrases. If you want, add more sentences or details to your answer. Pause the video and make your answer now.
How was that? Easy? Difficult? If it's difficult, read the sample answers. You can find the text on our website. Use the sample answers as a model and change the details so that you're using your own information. Let's move on to our last section.
Sometimes if you start working in a new company, you'll have to introduce yourself in a meeting. Here, your answer should focus on your professional background, like in a job interview. However, you'll probably use a more conversational tone. Let's see our first sample. My name's Gwen, and as you maybe know, I just started here. This is my first week, in fact. I'm working in the marketing department as a web marketing coordinator. My background is a mix of marketing and software. I started my career as a software engineer. I'm still finding my feet, and I haven't met all of you yet, but I'm looking forward to working with you all. If you're walking past my office, come and say hi.
If you work in a larger company, you might need to introduce yourself to colleagues even if you've worked there for some time. For example, if you're starting a project with people you've never worked with before. Let's see how that could look. Hi, I'm Elias. I'm the CISO, so I'm responsible for online security and keeping our computers and networks safe. You've probably seen me around because I've been working here for a while, almost 10 years now. As you just heard, all staff need to take our cybersecurity training class, so you'll be learning about how to stay safe online with me or one of my colleagues in the next month or 2.
Here's your final challenge. Imagine you've started a new job and you have to introduce yourself to your colleagues in a meeting. Make an answer to introduce yourself. You can use all the language you've seen in this lesson. Try to make your answer 3 or 4 sentences long. Say your answer out loud.
Could you do it? If so, great. If not, keep practicing. You can also review the lesson and the sample answers to get ideas. Now, we hope that hearing the question, "Tell me about yourself," won't make you feel so nervous.
So, tell me about yourself. Practice your answers and put them in the comments and share them with other students.
Okay, so that video talked about different situations where you have to introduce yourself and how you can make your answer. Why I showed you that video is because it gives you some creative ways to introduce yourself. Okay, but mostly you have to talk about yourself in general. What are you studying now and what are you doing right now? And also your future plans. These are the 3 main areas you have to cover in your speech. Okay, so moving on, I will show you a sample. Okay, for what you have to do. Okay, let's watch this. And this is not 100% perfect video. This is a video done by a student. Okay, so I'm giving you a sample. And also I included this video because she's trying to present. Okay, one of the things I want you to do is once you're done with writing your speech about yourself, you practice and you have to use your hands and gestures and expressions. Don't just do it like a robot. Okay, so yes, be more live. Okay, when you do the speech, that is one of the things that you can score marks. Okay, one of the ways. If you are just doing it here like very anxious and all, so there's nothing to be anxious. It's just yourself and the camera. Okay, so there's nothing to be anxious. You can take in 2-3 rounds and redo it and till you feel like you've done your best. So there's nothing to be anxious. When you face it, do it more lively, present it. Okay, so let's watch this video.
Good evening, everybody. I take great pleasure in introducing myself. My name is Matarama Kanattagamage Tilni Prabodha Sewandi. I'm 30 years old. I live in Galle and I'm one and only child in my family. Nowadays, I'm doing my own dancing classes. Now I would like to talk about my education. I studied in Upananda College, Galle. I was a famous character in my school time because I was a member of our school dancing team. I have 5 all-island dancing certificates. I did my A-levels 2011, but unfortunately, my results were not enough to enter the university. Then I decided to follow an external degree in the University of Carolina. I selected psychology, dancing, drama, and 2 compulsory subjects.
Wait. Okay, we are back.
Called English and ICT. I think English is a very useful subject in my future. So I'm very interested about English. I have a dream doing a job in government sector as a graduate. Now I would like to talk about who am I. I am a person who thinks positively. I know success will not gifted on a tray. So I must achieve it through hard work. And I am goal achiever, team player, hard worker and good person. Also, I'm willing to accept responsibilities. I tell myself, try and try, one day you can fly. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that is actually a good attempt done by a student. Okay, so we don't expect you to be perfect or anything. We just want you to try and do your best for the assignment. And you will also gain confident. You will be confident after doing the assignment to speak about yourself to someone else. If you want to introduce yourself in English, you won't feel anxious. Okay, you will feel less anxious, right? Once you've done this speech, so you know this is what you can tell about yourself, right? So moving on, we have a general video to watch, how to deliver a speech confidently. Okay, this is about how you can make yourself look confident when you are delivering a speech. Let's watch the video. Okay.
Why are you so shy? Come on, speak up a little. Be more confident. That's what people used to say to me when I began my journey. And I heard that from teachers, girls, you name it, left, right, and center. And I'll tell you inside, it wasn't until I discovered these 3 things I'm going to share with you today, especially the final one, things began to change. People began to treat me seriously. I was able to increase my wealth, my relationship, and so forth as a result. And that's why I'm so excited to share with you these 3 points, so make sure to pay close attention. Without further ado, let's go on to the first thing, which is stop making your statements sound like a question. You gotta share what you believe in with absolute conviction. The only way that happens is this, by you not going like this with your tonality, such as, is that making sense? Instead, you go down. Is that making sense? More certainty. Compare this. This is a great pen. This is a great pen. Notice the difference. So you'll notice inside it, just by tonality going up or down, it makes a huge difference in regards to how something is perceived. Now, this is where I struggled a lot with, because my background, I suffered from social anxiety for many years, severe social anxiety where I was homebound. Pretty much every single week, I was just locking myself in my room. As a result, I was always looking to people please. I was always looking for validation from other people. As a result, when somebody asked me my opinion, my tonality always used to go up, because subconsciously, if you're somebody who can resonate with being shy, we seek validation. And that's why we were scared. We're scared of going down. We'd rather go up. And that way, we are less likely to tread on other people's toes. And talk about treading on other people's toes, that goes perfectly onto the second point. Realize this, insider. Even if you're the most perfect speaker on this planet, with a perfect tonality, cadence, you name it, all of the BS stuff that you may have come across, which some of it I don't agree with, even if you're the most perfect speaker, realize that the best speakers that have changed history, or best entrepreneurs that have created billion-dollar companies, they're not essentially the best speakers in the world. And yet they're able to create huge amount of success. Why? Because they drop load of truth bombs. They know what they believe in, and they're willing to stand up for it. When you find the thing inside it that you're willing to stand in front of a bus for to defend it, and you're able to speak with that amount of conviction, people naturally believe in you. People think, wow, this person's confident. Why? Because confident people, one of the things I learned from studying a lot of confident people, because I used to be very shy, confident people believe in their message so much, believe in themselves so much, they are not people pleasing. They're not looking to please others. They speak up for what they believe in. Look at all of the influencers inside that you follow online. Would you agree they drop load of truth bombs? Would you agree this is why you like them? Because they've given up the need to be liked. Give it up. Because realize this, you think people care about you, but in reality, people really don't. They're too busy worrying what you are thinking of them. Everybody features in a movie called My Life, walking around thinking the cameras are all on us, lights are all on us, but realize your next door neighbor, everybody around you, they're all thinking, actually the camera's all on me. So everybody walks around in the movie called My Life. You're the main actor in your own movie, but realize the person next to you, they're the main actor. Nobody cares about you. So speak up for what you believe in. Naturally, that makes you appear really confident. Naturally, that is the one thing that makes you a great speaker. So be sure to own that. The third is use the power of pause. I talk about this a lot, pausing. But today, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in regards to why you should pause. Realize that we've got an awkward meter in our mind. Depending on how self-conscious, shy you are, your awkward meter is going to be maybe milliseconds before you feel the need to fill in the blank. Like, you know what I mean by filling the blank. These random words you just kind of chuck out there because you don't like pauses. Firstly, if you look at any presidents talking, what do they all do? They pause. Why? Well, there are 2 reasons. The first reason, it allows the audience to think about what you've just said. Second reason, it allows you to think about what you've just said as well and what you're going to follow up with. If you're going to just speak like this, hey insiders, how are you doing today? I'm going to be sharing the 3 things you got to know in order for you to become a confident speaker, and you're going to feel at the end of it, you're going to be like absolutely amazing. You're going to be like, oh my God, Tim, I can't actually recollect all of the thoughts because you're speaking so fast. You're like, what? What did I just even hear? But the moment I pause, you now think. If you're somebody who's self-conscious right now, somebody like me, okay? Because, by the way, I'm quite self-conscious. Believe it or not, I'm still shy to this day. I just manage it quite well. You want to begin to stretch this muscle where you are extending this pause time. I jump onto a stage nowadays, people give me a massive round of applause, right? When I go on and then I stand right in the front of the stage and I just look at them. I don't even say a word, just look at them with a big smile, and I'll look at each one in the eyes. 10 seconds. It shows absolute certainty before I even begun to say anything. Use the power of pause. Get rid of filler words. If you've got the tendency to use filler words like like, that is a very bad low status behavior that people will perceive you as shy if you were to keep on doing that. So make sure you pause instead. Is that making sense, by the way? Was this pretty awesome? I hope you found this video helpful, Insider. If you have, be sure to click the like button. Comment below what's been your biggest takeaway, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And also, Insider, if you're new to our channel, be sure to click that subscribe button because we got awesome content coming.
Okay, so that was about how you can be confident when you are speaking. Okay, so yes, so believe in what you say, and also don't speak without any pauses. Okay, to have pauses, use your gestures. These are some of my suggestions. Use hand movements and gestures, but don't use too much. Okay, so use the hand movements wisely. Use and also look at the camera. Okay, this is a video you have to make, so look at the camera and present it so we feel like when we watch the video, we feel like you are talking to us, right? And also yes, and be creative when you are writing the speech, okay, about yourself. So there are a lot of things we can tell about ourselves, so you have to decide what you want others to hear about yourself. Okay, and yes, so that is it about the assignment. So assignment, I will tell you again, is you have one assignment for 20 marks, and my main advice is don't miss this assignment. Do this assignment, do it and submit it, and the dates and the deadlines and guidelines කවදටද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම LMS page එකේ update කරනවා. Okay, so and yes, so that is the assignment. You have to introduce yourself in general, talk about what you are doing right now, and also about your future plans. Okay, so that is about the assignment, and we talked about the course in general, the content and everything, right? So I have a song for you. We will be doing a lot of songs for the lessons as well. I just have this song for you because it is kind of is an inspirational song, okay, that inspires you to be unique. Okay, so let's watch the song. Let's listen to the song.
Do you ever feel like a misfit? Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, but it's okay to be different.
Wait, something happened. Okay.
Do you ever feel like a misfit? Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, but it's okay to be different. 'Cause baby, so am I. So am I, so am I, so am I. Can you hear the whispers all across the room? You feel her eyes all over you like cheap perfume. You're bound but so free. So come and join me and call me Harley, and we'll make us good. I feel like a misfit. Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, but it's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I. So am I. I feel like an outcast. You don't have to fit into the format. Oh, but it's okay to be different, 'cause baby, so am I. So am I. So am I. So am I.
Okay, so another thing is listen to songs in English and try to watch movies in English. Without I will tell you to watch them without subtitles, so you will get used to understanding the language. When you watch something with subtitles, I actually showed you most all the videos with subtitles. But I recommend you, if you are watching, if you want to kind of learn English and get used to the language, one of the main things I recommend is to listen to songs, English songs. Okay, you will not understand at the beginning, but you will get used to it. Your ear will get used to it. And also watch movies in English without subtitles. If you watch with subtitles, you are reading. Okay, so you are basically kind of improving your reading skills. Okay, so watch a movie without subtitles. When you watch like that, you will get used to the language. After maybe watching 4 to 5 movies where you can't actually understand the language, but you have pictures to understand actually, and your ear will get used to the language. Okay, so just some general recommendations for you to do to improve your English language, the knowledge and everything. Okay, so yes, so that is it for this session. So this is the introductory seminar for you for 2022 batch for the course in English for Humanities and Social Sciences. And I am Rajini Aloka. If I don't think I told you at the beginning, I'm Rajini Aloka, and I'm the coordinator of this course. And also there's Gavitri, another lecturer, teaching along with me teaching the course with me, sharing the lectures with me. So we two are going to be teaching and doing the lectures for you, and you will see me in the upcoming lectures. And if you have any problem related, the email address is given, and you can also put your problems in the discussion forum. But I recommend you to email me. But if you are emailing, put the subject with the course code and everything. Okay, course code එකයි subject එකයි දාලා මොකක් ගැනද කියලා ලියන්න. So body එකේ තමා දාන්න email එක. Okay, so yes, so you can contact us if you have any problem. Okay, and yes, I wish you all the best to complete this course. Okay, yes, I'll see you then. Bye.